Hey, what's going on, guys? Gangster Gamer here, and we are back to another reacting video. We're reacting to Scary True Stories Animated Edition by Mr. Llama Arts, but this is Mr. Nightmare. So, yeah, let's go into it.
I live alone in a rural town in Virginia, about 2 blocks away from my parents. My parents are both in their 60s, and my mom has become a very worrisome woman in her old age. Sometimes she walks over uninvited and lets herself in, since I had regrettably given her a key, which can get a bit annoying. Like if I would be out really late on weekends at a bar or with women, I would sometimes come home to my mom sitting in the living room waiting, worried sick. I know you may just think, oh my god, that's crazy, why not just put your foot down and tell her to stop? Well, because you don't know my mom. It's very hard to describe her, but
Ugly.
she's the kind of worrisome, innocent little lady that you just can't bring yourself to go against. And I hate to mention, she also has mild dementia.
What's that nose?
Anyway, this was Saturday night. I think it was around 2 in the morning. I was at a nearby club with a group of college friends. Really the only place
Is
hanging out in this
is that
town,
Lord
and I was getting
Minion or
ready to head
something?
home.
Hold on. It was that
I
Lord
said goodbye to all
Minion.
my friends
The
and walked the 3
dude,
blocks it took
the
to
guy
get back
with
to
the
my
long
house.
beard
I
on the
walked up my
right.
front stoop in my drunken haze
Tripping
and dug my
balls,
hands in my pocket
bro.
for my keys. When I grabbed the doorknob, I realized it was unlocked. My mom was here again.
Dang it.
I quietly opened and shut the front door, locking it behind me. I put my keys on the kitchen counter and found a note written in my mom's handwriting saying, "You forgot this at our house, next to the box of
Mom
half-eaten
X.
cake my
What
parents
does that
didn't
mean?
want." I didn't see my mom anywhere, so I assumed she must have gone upstairs to sleep in the guest bed until I got back, which is something she would commonly do as well. Then I heard footsteps upstairs, confirming it, and that's when I sighed once again. 27 years old, almost 3 in the morning, and she still has to wait up and treat me like a child. I ran upstairs to check the guest bed, empty, along with all the
What was that?
bathrooms.
Pause.
I was afraid Mom was having one of her episodes due to her condition, so I ran to the phone to call my dad. After 4 rings, my dad picked up in a groggy voice, asking what the hell is the matter. After I told him that I heard Mom wandering around upstairs in my house, there was a short pause.
Sorry for that language,
and then he
by the way.
said, "That's not possible. She's sleeping right next to me." My mouth fell open as I turned my head to face the dark upstairs, and just barely by the light provided by the kitchen, I could see a head peering around from the corner at the top of the stairs, looking down at me.
What the heck is that? Like, it looks like Megamind gone mad. And there's no way a person could look purple. Or like an evil minion from Despicable Me. Something. Look at his scars on his. Look at that smile. Look at that award-winning smile.
I screamed into the phone as I ran out the front door and down the street to my parents' house, explaining to my father on the way. About halfway there, my dad told me, "Alright, I'm gonna call the cops," and hung up. I made it to my parents' house, where my mom was already waiting at the door, worried sick. My
Okay,
mom
she has a
explained that
reason.
she did come over to clean my kitchen a little bit and to bring over the cake they didn't want. 2 police.
That's a reason to be worried. Like, if your son's in a house with a stranger, like, that's a reason to be worried. But if you're out, if you know he's out, he's fine. It's not like The Walking Dead when you go out, man, because that would be a reason to. If it was The Walking Dead, then that would be a good reason to be worried, because your son could be eating right now, getting eaten by zombies.
Cars pulled up in front of my parents' house, where they escorted me and my dad down the street to my house. One officer stayed outside with us, while 2 others went inside to investigate. It felt like 15 minutes before they came back outside and said it was clear.
Nothing.
They checked the crawl space, the attic, everything. There was really nothing for me to report, other than the door was left unlocked and I saw the outline of a head upstairs before I ran for it. Still, I didn't feel safe sleeping in there that night, so I went back to my parents' house. Me and my dad are certain that my mom simply forgot to lock the door when she left, as her memory has been getting worse over the past few months. My dad has been stopping her from coming over alone from now on, which makes me both sad but also relieved. Some nights I still get paranoid that whoever was in my house that night never left and is still hiding in here somewhere.
Oh man. Alright, I'm going to pause the recording and then I'm going to find another video. Alright guys, I'm back. I just found another Mr. Nightmare animated by Llama Arts. Go subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. He makes awesome animations. So yeah, let's get to it. The motel. I've never slept in a motel in my life, and I really hope I don't have to.
I was 19 years old at the time, working at a sketchy motel. The motel was pretty run down, and the majority of people who stayed there were locals that were just doing things they weren't supposed to be doing.
What is that?
Let's just say the cops came by multiple times a week.
Oh god.
I worked as both a front desk person, checking in these creeps all hours of the night, and as a housekeeper who got to clean up their nasty, vomit-smelling rooms afterwards. One afternoon, I was working as a housekeeper in the second building of the motel on the backside furthest from the office. I hated working over there because it not only had the most worn-down rooms, but it was always pretty vacant over there and way too quiet for comfort. I began cleaning one of my last rooms and wanted to get done in a hurry because it was getting late. I was washing the mirror in the room that I was cleaning when all of a sudden I saw a man in the reflection staring at me. He was mid-fit.
That wouldn't make sense. Your reflection would be in front of the man. Like, if you just wash your mirror and you see a man behind you and not you in the reflection, you're basically a vampire, which that would be awesome because you can just turn around and bite him. I don't like him. He looks sketchy.
He's dirty with long, greasy hair. Startled, I screamed, "Oh my God." I told him he scared me. The room I was currently cleaning was vacant, so there was no reason why this man should have been in there watching me clean. However, we just had a meeting on customer satisfaction, and my boss was really pressuring us to be more polite and help the guests any way we could.
Oh, I'll be polite with my bullets.
Sir? I asked cautiously. Can I get you anything? Towels? The man just stared back at me with a crooked grin and held out his hands to me. I thought maybe he was handing me a tip for cleaning his room earlier, but when I looked down, I saw he was holding a $100 bill. Alarms started going off in my head. No one tips $100 on a $40 a night room.
How do you get that?
The man just smiled and said his name was Terry. He said he was staying in the room next door with
If he has $100, he's gotta have more. But he would be staying in a hotel, not this greasy
motel. When I asked him why he
motel.
was trying to hand me $100, he laughed deep in his throat and said, "Me and my wife were watching you, and we just wanted to have fun with you."
Creep! Have fun with
like
you.
My heart jumped into my throat.
Sex offender!
No, I can't do that, sir. I'm sorry.
I grabbed the gun.
I wanted to run out of the room screaming, but he was blocking the door, my only exit.
Move it.
The man smiled again, taking on a softer tone of voice, and invited me to come into his room to meet his wife, just to talk as friends. I nervously told him no again, and that I had a lot of work to do for the day. I prayed to God he would just go away, and eventually he did. He grunted and walked off in what I assumed to be the direction of his room. My mind began racing. There is no wife, I thought. This man could try and kidnap me. I was 110 pounds at the time and not very strong. He could easily overpower me. I locked the room from the inside and went directly to the phone to call my manager at the front desk, but the phone wasn't working. Adrenaline began pumping through my veins, and despite what I was always told not to do, I was panicking. Did he cut the line? No, I thought. This is a crappy
Why would you
motel.
expect it? Well, yeah, he would probably cut the line, but still, your motel is a piece of crap. Why would you even worry about the cell
That was
phone?
outside the locked door. I'd have to open the door to get it.
It's like, YOLO!
I cautiously opened the door to the room that I was cleaning and peered out. I didn't see anyone, so I frantically began searching my cart for my cell phone.
He took it. That.
I was wasting too much time looking for it, so I just decided to run as fast as I could and make a break for the front desk in the office. Then from behind me, I heard the man again, but this time he was screaming to someone else. "She's running, she's getting away." I could hear his shoes slamming against the pavement after me. I quickly turned the corner, grabbed my key card, and let myself into a stockroom and locked the door. Within moments, I heard the sound of the dirty guy and someone else running outside, searching for me. I stayed in that stockroom for 30 minutes shaking until I could no longer hear him searching for me. I finally got the courage to run the rest of the way to the front desk. When I made it there, I collapsed into my boss's arms and he called the police. The man and whoever else was in the room with him peeled out before the cops could arrive, and I was beyond shaken up.
This dude looks like
According to the
Tortoise.
police who ran a search,
Well,
this
kind
wasn't
of.
the first time he had done something like this, and he was actually wanted for sexual assault, gross sexual imposition, and in the past was once charged with rape.
I knew it.
A few weeks later, on what happened to be my birthday, this guy was caught. A few weeks after that, I quit. I will never again work at another motel.
We're gonna do one more video, and yeah. Alright, the last video of the day. Home Alone Stories, Episode 2, animated by Llama Arts. Go subscribe to his channel, and Mr. Nightmare is brought to you by the video.
This story is from the point of view of a 16-year-old girl.
Anime.
I used to have a boy living next door to me that was obsessed with me. His name was Joey. Every time I would go
Anime
outside,
girl.
Joey would come outside as well, as if he were watching me through his windows.
Hello.
He was
Looks kind of
17,
innocent.
very weird, and he didn't seem to have any friends, as he was always home. I
Come
tried
on,
to give
screen.
every
Go,
sign
go,
possible that I
go
didn't
clear.
like this guy, but he wouldn't get the message. So I had to finally just tell him one day
Okay,
that
there
I
you
don't
go.
like him and to leave
I
me
don't
alone.
like him. Leave me alone. Go
The look on
yourself.
his face that day is something that won't leave me. It was the kind of
Toddler.
angry look a toddler gives their parents when they can't have a toy.
He's like,
Coming from a 17-year-old, that's much more disturbing.
okay.
One night, my parents left me to watch the house. I was working on a school project when I felt my bed shift a little bit.
What?
I looked under my bed.
I know.
I
Jesus!
screamed as I saw Joey laying under my bed. I ran away while he tried to crawl out from under my bed. I ran to his house and rang the bell at least 10 times, telling his parents about it when they opened the door. Joey never came out of my house, so I called the police. His parents begged me not to, but I ignored them.
Yeah, you better not. I'm
The
gonna
police
kill you.
found him still in my room and arrested him. Apparently, he admitted this wasn't the first time he had hid under my bed. They also found pictures of me scattered across his room. The most disturbing one was of me sleeping, and it was taken from inside my room.
Okay, how would you not know a man is under... Is that it? Are you serious? No. Cancel. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like the video. Subscribe if you keep wanting me to do these scary things. But go subscribe to Llama Arts and Mr. Nightmare. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you dudes in the next video!